Welcome to the family with.
Mike Gelfand.
And Andy Brant Bernard.
All right, what's the latest? You got some new news? Anything breaking
yeah.
we should know about?
Matt Whitaker's back.
Matt Whitaker, who's that?
Well, Matt Whitaker, he's first. The bulletin is that he is the new ambassador to NATO, the latest Trump appointee. Now, you probably have forgotten him, but I certainly haven't. Matt Whitaker was like the attorney general for a few weeks or something, the acting attorney general. Looks good on his resume. He's the guy who earned his fame by supposedly inventing the toilet for men with big penises.
What? I never heard of this.
Or would it be peni? I don't know.
It might be peni.
I like that. Yeah. No. Yes.
He invented a toilet for men with big penises.
He's a grifter and a gonner. Fits perfectly, and that was his main claim to fame. I don't think he'd ever actually been part of any lawsuit or anything. I don't think he, had like prosecuted anybody or defended anybody. But he had invented the toilet for men with big penises. Supposedly, of course, the watered the well, and therefore, of course, I mean, let's face it, the fecal matter floating on it. The guy with the big penis, it could touch that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want that.
No, you wouldn't want that. It turned out
your penis have to be about 1.5 feet long.
Yeah, that's
yeah. It was a total grift. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a scam!
I
Is
think
that
he
the
had-
big? He's kind of a big guy, bald guy.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I can't stand him.
It's going to be fun, isn't it?
There's a lot of people I can't. Oh, it's on both sides too. Both sides are so obnoxious right now. I can't even bear it.
Yeah, it's just that this side has the power to appoint all these guys.
Yeah, and
they do now.
previously they do the other side, and that
what
worked
was this
out.
guy's name?
Matt Whitaker,
Matt
or
Whitaker.
Matthew, officially.
Let's see. Trying to find this toilet we're talking about.
I don't know if there ever actually was one.
Oh, he's just trying to get one built. Is that the plan?
Well, he was trying to get people to pay him money for this thing, and then
okay.
probably would never have actually delivered it. That was the
Indeed.
impression I got.
Indeed. I just one thing. Did you find it, Andy? Matt Whitaker.
After I wade through all these pop-ups that every ad or every news company in the universe serves you.
It's getting to be a real thicket.
It is called the masculine toilet, apparently.
The masculine toilet.
I ain't gonna pee in no feminine toilet.
No, absolutely not.
Well, feminine toilet would be extra shallow, I suppose. You don't need all that space.
Yeah, why wouldn't they build an extra shallow toilet?
Basically just a bidet.
Mm-hmm. Right. And of course, first time I ever saw a bidet as a young man was in somebody's house, and I thought it was a urinal.
Well, I would have too.
Yeah, I didn't have a clue.
Distance between rim and water is at least 12 inches.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm. So it's the Johnny Watt edition.
Seems a little excessive, but
I have a question for you. Now, even if your erect penis is 12 inches long, which has got to be an all-time world record, I would imagine.
Mm.
When you're not erect, it would only be about half that long. So
Well,
how is this a problem?
people are speculating that it's for old men who didn't wear a whole lot of underwear in their time.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some lowering going on.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm still 12 inches. If they're hanging that low, see a doctor.
Way to kick off the show, Gelfand, you pill. We're talking about sponsors for about 10 minutes here. It's your fault.
Well, don't think I didn't plan it that way.
Yeah, of course. There's no question about it. But yeah, I'm having a real hard time now because nobody will get along about anything. They can't agree on anything. Nothing is going well. It's just, my God, will people ever be happy?
I don't. Are we supposed to be?
Well, I would like to be.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
if we're
consider
supposed
that pretty much every religion on earth, the ultimate goal is to get the hell out of here. So I think there's a reason that they developed that way. There's no religion that's like, you get to stay on earth as long as you want.
Yeah, true.
As Ian Esco said, I'm not happy. One can only be pleased.
Pleased but not happy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll accept that.
It works for me. I don't know.
No, like I said, if that's what we got, that's what we got. Can't worry about it. But
Yeah.
I see so many people on the national news, and again, it's on both sides, making absolute fools of themselves with their personal beliefs. And it's like, you actually believe that, you dope? And
Well,
like I said, it's on both sides. It's like,
but that is the thing, it doesn't, our government doesn't reflect the, people as we know them.
no, it doesn't. And it never has it ever, is what I'd like to know.
No, I guess not. It's just so extreme now.
Yeah, it is very, very extreme. No question about it. We just, this morning, this kind of part of that whole deal, I did not know that somebody had recut Baby It's Cold Outside
Yeah.
because I never realized that Baby It's Cold Outside was a guy trying to force a woman to have sex with him.
No,
I
it's
never saw it that way.
They do this every year. Every year, a bunch of attention seekers bring up this song so they can be like, "Oh, look how evil men are," and I'll recut it so it's about the good ones. This has been going on for at least 6-7 years.
I mean, Baby It's Cold Outside. I really can't stay. Baby It's Cold Outside.
Well,
I
it's
must
about
go
her
away.
playing coy. That's
Yeah.
But there's no such thing as subtlety.
So who did the original?
Who did the
I
original?
think Dean Martin, maybe.
Were they the original or?
I don't
I
know.
don't know. I think
Let's
Dean Martin did.
see.
I'm sure
I'm
it was
not
covered by 100 different guys.
Oh God, yeah.
And women too, obviously.
But I didn't see any forced sex happening in that song at all. Where did they get that?
People like to hear things that make them angry.
I guess.
Or
Looks
in
like
some
the
cases,
oldest version might
aroused.
have been, or that, yes, I suppose, depending on who you are. There were a bunch of 1949 recordings.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bing Crosby and Jimmy Stewart, apparently James Stewart, not Jimmy Stewart.
Well, it is Jimmy Stewart.
I know,
James
but
Stewart,
they're
same person.
for some reason they're crediting him specifically as James Stewart. So I wouldn't want to
Okay.
get in trouble with the RIAA.
Sure.
Yeah.
Bing Crosby and James Stewart apparently did one in 1949. Don Cornell did one. Ella Fitzgerald, Louis Jordan, Doris Day, and Bob Hope, all in the same year.
If Doris Day was involved, this is not a smutty song.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think so. No, with Doris Day involved.
Yeah,
No.
looks like it was written in 1944.
Or Jimmy Stewart, for that matter.
Yeah.
He's not getting involved in something like
That's
that.
true.
Well, hold on. Just wait a second.
Not what.
No, I never did that. I never. No.
I don't see how you get Baby It's Cold Outside has a rapist kind of edge to it, but apparently that's why they changed the entire song. As a matter of fact, AJ played it on the show this morning, and it's horrendous.
Well, of course it is. Anything made to be the moral savior is going to be awful.
It's like I really can't stay. Oh, let me get your coat. It's like, what? That's the song? Okay, let me get your coat.
What an interesting song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Song about
exactly.
someone leaving.
Exactly
I don't know.
right.
It's my ideal song, but it's not for everyone.
Not for everyone. So what else is going on in the world? Anything big?
Well, there were. I saw there were something like 800 accidents in Minnesota yesterday.
That's what
I
heard,
saw
yes.
someone on a clover leaf. They had somehow, so you know how you're turning to the right along the curve.
Mhm.
They had somehow managed to get their car. It's almost like they stopped on the clover leaf and then backed up down the hill.
Well,
Like,
because they couldn't get all the way up.
I guess so, but it's like there was no ice on the ground.
I was one of about, I think they said it was something like 26 cars involved in an accident that started on in the internet exit. Because you come up that ramp, and then of course all of a sudden everything is frozen. There's sheets of ice.
Yeah.
So I think I was about the 16th person who was hit, and I'm there on the exit ramp, and I'm looking and I'm seeing a car coming, and I know from looking ahead, I know my car's going to get hit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nothing you can do.
I dived out of the car and crawled under the fence,
You did?
the guardrail, the metal guardrail.
The metal guardrail.
Yeah, because I didn't really want to get hit. I mean, I knew the car was going to get hit, but I chose not to be part of that accident. personally.
Abandoned ship.
Yeah, I abandoned ship. Yeah.
Well, that was smart, though, don't you think?
Well, I was younger then. My reflexes were better.
That's your diving skills.
Yeah.
That's the deal.
Your ability to dive out of a car without injury.
Today, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
You just have to take the hit.
I think so.
No question about it. Catherine and it was Dougie Sprinthal recommended a movie called Tin Men. Have either
Oh,
one?
Tin Man,
Oh,
wonderful.
you've
movie.
seen it?
Yeah, absolutely, I have.
It's a little too long. It's an hour and 52 minutes. Should have been about an hour and 30, I would think. But it was really, really good.
Yeah.
But now, again, I asked the guys this morning, and they did not know, but I looked it up. And you do have to look it up and you dive into it because some of the information is not accurate. How tall is Danny DeVito?
Not very.
I think I always thought he was something like about 4'10".
Yeah, I think that's about right.
It's what everybody says is 4'10".
Yes, 4'10" is his build height.
But that's not true. That's his build height.
Yeah.
He's actually 4'7".
Wow.
And
He
he's
could have
got-
made a lot of money as a jockey.
I would
Yeah,
think so,
right.
absolutely.
I mean, he'd have to lose a bunch of weight to do that.
Yeah,
but
it's true. He would have to lose weight.
he's never been a thin man.
That was I like that.
Thin man.
Thin Man.
Yeah.
The cast was fabulous, wasn't
It
it?
was. Barbara Hershey was great
Oh,
in it.
Barbara Hershey made the whole thing work.
Love her.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you had great, great people in it, constantly arguing, and it's really not about being an aluminum siding salesperson. That's what you kind of think it's going to be about because of Tin Men.
Yeah.
It's about two guys battling over the same woman, and one wants to get rid of her, and the other one said wants to be with her. But then it really was done well.
Yeah.
I think anyway, really
Yeah,
good movie.
I was drawn to the movie because I had a cousin who was a door-to-door siding salesman.
Really,
Yeah.
that doesn't even happen anymore, does it?
No.
I don't think
I
so.
wouldn't think so. I
No,
don't think so.
that's a thing of the past. But so that kind of drew me in because the thing is, people today wouldn't know this, but the siding salesman was, they tended to be goners.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily always honest or truthful or
Right.
and they didn't always do a very good job either. So that was kind of I think that's why the movie was called Tin Man. It kind of drew you into that sort of environment.
Right. But I will tell you what, one of my favorite things about the movie is all those classic old Cadillacs that they were driving.
Yeah.
I mean, Andy, these cars were the size of a ship. They were huge
Yeah,
cars.
oh, I've seen them before. All steel, gigantic. Yep.
No question about it. But yeah, if you get a chance, again, I thought the movie was a little too long, but it's really, really good. No doubt about it. But, we got a lot of stuff out right now. We were talking on the earlier show, the morning show today, about the fact that it looks like they're going to extend Tulsa King for 2 more years. It hasn't been yet. So, maybe they won't want to do it and they'll just get rid of it, but I don't think so. But they're looking at 2 more years of Tulsa King.
I can't watch anything with Tulsa in the title.
You just, the family won't allow you.
No, won't allow it. My dad would be rolling over in his grave.
So he hated Tulsa, huh?
Oh, yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, well, I mean, my dad was born in 1922.
Mm-hmm.
So, in 1921, of course, was the race riot.
Right.
And that did reflect the culture of Tulsa. Well, obviously it did because nothing ever happened to all the white folks who hung and otherwise killed and burned the houses and businesses of black people.
They actually did that in 1921.
That in 1921.
So just a little over 100 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But still you have, and again, I'm not trying to make a comparison here, but there was a woman, and I don't even know who the hell she is. I never even heard of her, but she put out a new album. She's a young black woman, and she put out a public notice that she doesn't want people buying her albums, her songs.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Why would you do that?
Why did she do it?
She just didn't say this music is for black people. It's not for white people, so don't buy it.
No.
Like, I don't really. Why wouldn't you want everybody to buy it?
Can I keep my Temptations albums?
Oh, you got to keep the Temptations album. No question about it. The Four Tops, Temptations.
Otis.
Oh God, yeah, Otis Redding.
Got to
Sitting
have
on-
some Otis.
You got it. He didn't live too long after that, sitting on the dock of the bay, did he?
No, he was. I think it was just about almost simultaneously with the release of that song.
I think it was. I think it
That
was
would have been
very, very close.
1967, right?
He died in 1967. So
Yep. Yeah, there you go.
let's see. Sitting on the Dock of the Bay was officially released January 8th, 1968. So he died first, a
Mhm.
month earlier.
Yeah.
A month earlier. Yep. There you
Yep.
go.
It
Yeah,
was
very,
it
very
was a
sad.
good song, but it's nothing. Nothing will ever top "Try a Little Tenderness."
Oh God, what a great song. Try a little tenderness.
And I don't know why anyone would ever try to cover that song after he did it.
No, I understand that. And of course, people are not interested in trying a little tenderness now. Why do you think it is, as people should be getting smarter, more well educated, fitting in much, it's getting worse rather than better?
Yeah,
Why is that?
it's because of willful ignorance.
But why
Because
do you
people
want to be
wanna
that
be
way?
ignorant.
They
People
want to
are-
be stupid.
People have the choice now of being ignorant. Education is not considered to be a plus anymore.
That's
But-
true.
I just don't understand why that happened.
Well, I guess it was mostly because of the internet. Because the internet gave people all these lying,
Yeah.
all this lying and deception, and people said, "Hey, I like that better than what the truth is.
A lot cheaper.
Well, cheaper, and and you don't have to think; it thinks for you." We don't, artificial intelligence, is far, it's actually all it has done is it has bred genuine ignorance.
No question. And why do we put up with this? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. But I got to be honest with you. In 1960, God, 68, I guess it would have been
Mhm.
something like that. I went to college, and I went to college for one day. Hated it so much I never went back. And because I found it to be very, very phony, a lot of ass kissing of the professor. The professor was a young woman, and she was, her pretty hippie like, and all the rest of it. But I found it to be so over the top, I just never wanted to go back, and I never did. I went to college for one day for that very, very same reason.
Well, going to college it's a lot like trying to find a therapist.
Yeah.
You have to search for the mentors. In this case, you have to search for the people who can help you be a better person, a more knowledgeable person. And there's a lot of shopping to do. As a freshman in college, you walk in there without any idea of what's happening and what's going on.
Right. Right.
And my reaction to it all was to go to class. I went to all my classes for, I guess, about 6 weeks. And then one day I figured out, well, I'm going to flunk out if I keep going to class. So I never went to classes again.
So you just never did.
No, I just did the reading, or I took an incomplete.
But let me ask you a question. Was part of that because the other people in your classes were so obnoxious?
No, it was because of my depression, ADHD, OCD.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just wasn't fit for sitting in a rectangular room while someone drones on is
Yeah.
not my. I cannot be educated that
No,
way.
one of the worst ways to learn something.
Yeah, and it is, So, but reading was different. I could absorb. I could do much better reading than these other people could do listening.
Do you think education has gotten worse or better?
I think everything's gotten worse.
Yes,
Kind
absolutely.
of seems like it. And why is it? Why do we want to go backwards? I don't understand why people want to go backwards.
No.
Why people want to hate one another the way they do now.
It's the big I and the big M.
The big money, we know that.
Ignorance and money.
Yeah, it's
and,
true.
And the internet.
The internet is really, really hard for people to deal with, isn't it?
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it could be used for great purposes, but it's people have chosen not to.
It's really funny because Catherine put, what's it called? X now? Is that what it's called? X
Yep.
used to be. Catherine put it on my phone, and it is one of the most negative things I have ever read on my phone.
Really, Elon Musk allows that?
Oh, all of them allow it. Believe me, all these sites are just
Well, I mean, but I'm just saying, there's only one X.
Well, there's only one. Yeah.
They dominate, and that's what it was. That's why That's why the guy spent all that money, was because he wanted to dominate what we used to call free speech.
Yeah. Well, I could see it. Yeah, because people do have an edge. If you go on like Facebook, which I guess not many people go on anymore, is that
Nah,
true?
not much.
Yeah, not too much. It doesn't really have that negative side to it that
No.
I see on other platforms. What else you got? You got X and what are the two big ones now?
Instagram, TikTok.
TikTok, and that's a Chinese company, right?
Yep.
So what is that all about? What's happening on TikTok? What do they do on that?
I wouldn't know. 'Cause I'm
Brevity.
not very
It's
young.
There's a lot
brief.
of very short videos.
Oh, a lot
Yeah.
of video.
I like-
Oh, well, it's video. So
They're like
again,
6-10 seconds for
Yeah.
the most part.
Yeah.
Useless.
so why do you want to do that? I mean, is it funny or why do they want to watch these 6-second videos?
I guess dopamine would be the answer.
Well, yeah,
You
you
just
watch a
gotta
funny
charge.
video or a cute animal or whatever. Video's over. You scroll to the next one. There's an infinite supply of these little dopamine hit videos.
What is amazing to me, and I can't remember what site it was on because it was not on TikTok, or I don't think it's on X either, but there are videos on social media about little children unwrapping presents, and they get millions of followers.
It's been a thing for ages.
Right. But why? I mean, good for the kid, but why would you want to watch that all the time? A kid unwrapping, is there the little bit of joy in the world of watching a kid be happy?
I think what would be really funnier would be a video of me trying to wrap a present.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm right there
That
with
would,
them
that-
shoulder to shoulder.
that would last a lot longer than 10 seconds.
And Melissa's tried several times to teach me, and I just cannot do it.
I can't either.
Not good.
That's why for a while there, and I was actually asked to invest in the company, and I'm glad I didn't in the end, but there was a company that put out plastic that you would wrap around a gift and then take a hair dryer on hot and it would form to the box.
Ah,
It would, it wouldn't melt, but it would kind of shrivel. And so every present looked really good because you didn't really have to wrap it. Your hair dryer did it for you.
well, you know what? I wouldn't mind doing that because I really need a purpose for my hair dryer.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
yeah, it's lost all its luster.
It just doesn't get a lot of use.
I suppose not. But
Even when I had hair, I didn't use it.
No. I used it to dry my shirt once.
You did?
That helps. You get some water on there. You got somewhere to be.
I used it to thaw some frozen water pipes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
a good
not
use for it.
That's not a good. That's not a bad idea. It's a really good idea, as a matter of fact. So I don't know. I'm just kind of looking around, seeing what's new in the news this morning. It's not a whole lot. I think it's because we're getting so close to Thanksgiving, and then therefore the holiday season of Christmas and Hanukkah and all the rest of it.
Oh, yeah. I'm really looking forward to Thanksgiving. I'm going to get a rotisserie chicken and some stovetop, and
Oh,
that's well, maybe I could probably buy a slice of pumpkin pie.
I like a good rotisserie chicken.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
yeah, it is better than turkey.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, turkey, it's just like leather anyway, and it's never hot. Turkey is carved and then it's put on a table, and then you're the 14th in line.
yeah, that wouldn't be good.
No,
That's why you
No,
got to
you're
get a
absolutely right.
tofurkey.
yeah, that's
A
good.
tofurkey?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Andy will tell you this, though. The one thing about Publix grocery stores
Yeah,
in Florida,
Mhm.
they have the most amazing, wonderful boxes, little carry boxes
Mhm.
of chicken wings.
Mhm.
Oh my
Their chicken
God,
wings
their
are
chicken
so
wings.
good. When we were
They're
down there, I got them at least once a week.
Publix is the people's grocery store.
It is. I really like Publix. I wish we had them up here.
They are good. Well, yeah, but Lund's Byerly's does a good job, don't you think?
Oh yeah,
Well, yeah, they do.
I like Lunds
And-
and Byerly's because the people who work there tend to be pretty happy.
Yeah, and they have good prepared food. I've liked their God, it's like Italian pasta something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a pasta salad kind of thing. I've been eating that for 20 years.
And I used to know Jim Kowalski, and unfortunately not with us any longer. So I do like the Kowalski's markets as well. They do, they each got a little difference. Are there any super values left anywhere?
Well,
I don't know.
well, Super Value. Who bought Super Value? Somebody
trying to-
did, right?
Somebody did buy super value, but I don't know what happened. to it.
United National Foods. or natural
Oh,
foods.
UNFI.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
they
there
probably
you
have a
go.
lot of other labels out there, right?
Cub is their big one.
Okay. Oh, sure. Yeah.
I like Cub too. There's nothing
And
wrong with Cub. That's a good store.
Cub is
Right?
it sort of adheres to its zip code.
Super Value
Yeah.
does have 223 stores left in Ireland.
In Ireland? You're making that
So,
up.
Nope.
That's true. There's 225 super values in Ireland.
I don't know if it's the same. It's spelled the same without the E.
That's it. I'm going to Ireland. Forget about Canada. I'm going to Ireland.
You're moving to Ireland.
Canada wouldn't have me, so
I have a question for you. I've never asked anybody this before. What is the Jewish population of Ireland?
Not a lot, I'm guessing.
not a lot. Although there was once a Jewish mayor of Dublin, isn't that right?
Oh yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about. I'm not certain, but that does sound familiar.
There are about 2,200 Jewish people in Ireland.
Oh, well,
The whole country.
Yes. So not a ton.
no, but it's enough for a few synagogues.
Yeah, there you go.
So
My father, I think there was one synagogue in Tulsa when my dad was growing up there.
you know what was really wonderful about that, and they had to go a long way for this one, but there was a study that was out. It came out earlier this week, but I can't remember. It was in a number of different places. But basically, you could tell that a lot of people hate Jews now because they now refer to Jews as white people, which I think is hilarious.
Well, that's the thing, it's funny because in a lot of areas now, Jews are not considered to be white people.
Yeah, they're not, but in America they are, so you can hate them, I guess.
mean, if we're not white, who is?
Well, that's what I'm kind of wondering. Every Jew I've ever met is white. Why is this all of a sudden a topic?
Yeah. I mean, there are Jews with with sort of olive complexions, but most of us are pretty much alabaster, like Faye Dunaway type.
Ooh, Faye Dunaway.
I'm talking about alabaster. I'm talking about white.
Why do you think it is that we are going through another one of those nobody's ever right and we hate you and I don't agree with anything you say? Why are we going through that again? I mean, it happens like every 20 years we have to go through this. Why?
I don't know. I mean, these are, however, clearly distinct, unique times.
Yeah, they certainly
we haven't
are.
experienced this before. And again, I guess it goes back to the internet.
That's what it is. It's just they hop on and they believe all the things they see on the internet. Is that what you're saying?
Well, they find things that they want to believe.
Yes. Well, that's true. Yeah. Andy, do you see me as somebody that wants to believe something so I believe it, or do I look at the facts of the issue?
Depends on the topic.
I suppose that's probably true. I'm
I
not
think
big on
everyone's like that, though.
I want to believe something, so therefore it's true. I don't buy that at all.
No,
No, but I guess it's sort of a human instinct.
I think so.
I think it's always been there, and it's just that now it's so easy to do.
Yeah, everyone's got confirmation bias. It's just, if you couldn't find something to confirm your bias, you'd usually drop it. But now you can find something to confirm any bias at all.
Yeah, you can go to, you can go to QAnon or you can go to X Hamster. I mean,
Those are the two.
What is X Hamster? What the hell is that?
That's a porn site.
X Hamster?
X Hamster. Yeah, I don't really know
why it's a hamster, I don't know.
I don't know.
What?
I have no idea.
I've never looked into it.
I have, and there are no hamsters on the site.
No hamsters. Oh, I would hope not.
Yeah, no.
I don't think that's legal.
I hope it isn't.
Not the only, but the biggest problem I always had with pornography and all the rest of it, whether it's in the magazine, I never really considered Playboy to be pornographic.
No.
They had naked women. It was not pornographic.
But some would disagree with us.
Some would disagree with that. But I've never understood whether it's Playboy or the porno movies, all the rest of it. Unless you're involved, why would you give a rat's ass? You know what I mean? If you're not involved in what they're doing, what's the upside?
Well, I guess it's for people who aren't involved.
Oh, so that's what it is.
Well,
They feel like they're involved, even though they're not.
Well, I mean, if you can't fantasize, what else do you have?
I guess. Yeah, you're right. If you got nothing going and you can't even fantasize, you're
Yeah.
pretty much screwed then,
If you
aren't
got
you?
nothing going and you're home alone and you never get to see any women, and oh, I'm sorry.
What was that great? I was trying to think of whose story it was. It was comparing, the three magazines. He
Mhm.
said, it's really interesting because, okay, so this is a comedian talking.
Mhm.
Listen, the Playboy, I understand. I read Playboy. They got some interesting letters in there, and of course, there are naked women in there, and it's very plain. So I do like Playboy. And then you move a little further down the line, and that would have been, what was the name of that guy again?
Penthouse?
Penthouse magazine. That's exactly right. Which I guess went a little further. Not as many good things to read, from what I understand, but a lot of they went a little further with the nakedness of the women and
Yeah.
the,
And
the shots they
the
took.
letters were great. They always started with, "I never thought I'd be writing a letter to Penthouse," but
Right,
Yeah.
they always did.
yeah.
And then they close the story with Hustler. I
Mhm.
have no idea what the hell that is.
That was what's the guy's name? Flint, right?
Harry Flint, Larry. What was his
What
name?
was it? Larry?
Yeah.
Larry Flint. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
Didn't he get shot?
Yeah.
He was paralyzed from the waist down or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was because he put out a pornographic magazine. Is that what it was, or what? Was he running for office or something? What the hell was that all
He might
about?
have run for office at some point. Yeah. This time just wasn't right. Today might be different, but not then.
I suppose once again because of the internet, you don't see those magazines anymore. I have not seen a
No.
Playboy magazine in
No.
years.
Does Playboy actually have a print version? I guess they
Probably
do.
don't. Do you think they do? I don't know. I
I'm
don't know if
not
they do
sure.
or not.
I used to, that was when I worked at the Wall Street Journal. I covered Playboy Enterprises
Oh,
Incorporated,
okay.
because they, since I was 22 and new to the game, they gave me all these quirky little companies like Playboy,
Mm-hmm.
Service Master was another one I covered.
Service
Service
master.
Master, you know Service Master.
Serving the master since
That's right. It was
1926 or whatever it was.
Masters of Service serving the master, and I it was a very religious company.
Mm-hmm.
So and their headquarters was near Chicago. So I think they were down in the Bible Belt, just by Chicago, like
South of Chicago,
Wheaton
yeah.
and cities like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I interviewed the CEO, the chairman of it was the CEO, I guess, maybe chairman of the board, I don't know, but he was like 85 years old, and so I interviewed him, and he was telling me about. He was very proud of all the Bible studies groups they had, and how they started each day praying to their Lord and Savior,
Mm-hmm.
and they were it was a very Christian company, and I waited till the end, and I said, well, do you have any people, like, do you have any Jews working for you? And he said, oh yes, we have many heathens in our midst.
Heathens in our midst.
So,
Okay.
I thought, I got it, man. I don't need anything else.
So you were a heathen, I'm assuming.
Yes, I
Did
was.
he know you were a heathen, though?
And I was in his midst. Well, he probably didn't. He probably didn't have anything close to Judar.
I remember Judar by living in North
Hey,
Minneapolis.
I grew up without Judar. I knew so few Jews growing up. I
Yeah.
honestly, if a guy's name was, say, Stein or
Mhm.
Rosenbaum, I might be able to put two and two together. If not, I mean,
You had to rely on those curly sideburns otherwise.
yeah, they had to have the coils. I was more
Yeah.
interested in the coils than the
Mm.
coils.
The Goyles than the coils. It's absolutely true. Yeah, that was a whole different era back. And you, actually, I see more now Jews with the curls you're talking about and
Mhm.
wearing the big black hats and all that stuff. For a while there, I didn't ever see
No.
that, but now it's back kind of.
Well, one of the things is that religious orthodoxy is back in a huge way.
Oh, it is. I didn't know that.
Here we got like four of them on the Supreme Court, so it's back.
So, who are these people now?
Yeah,
Is it all religions involved in
it's
that
the
kind of thing?
Orthodox Catholics on the Supreme Court. You and I, we grew up with Catholics. We all did. I had many Catholic friends growing up, but they were not like these.
So, what are the Orthodox Catholics? What's that all about?
Well, they believe in the papal teachings of several centuries ago.
Okay. And where does that take us?
A very dark place.
It's a very, they're not Jew haters, are they?
I don't think that's their first priority.
I don't think so.
I don't think they especially love us, but I think it's not their priority. They have other things. They want to like what they would like to do is ban contraception.
Oh, they do.
But they don't feel like they're there quite yet.
So why don't they want contraception?
Well, because the Catholic Church fundamentally didn't approve of it.
Well, I suppose, yeah. I never paid any attention to any of that stuff going to Catholic school.
Yeah. Well, they probably weren't. When you were in Catholic school, they probably weren't talking about things like that.
No, there's a lot of nuns. It was interesting. There were nuns, and then there were private teachers or whatever, not non-nun teachers,
Secular.
but they were secular. There you go. That's the word I was looking for. But they were all men. They were not women. So there were a lot of nuns that would teach, and then there were, when I went to St. Anne's, there were nuns, and then there was Mr. Ebert, who was I think he was like the 8th grade teacher at St. Anne's. Really good guy, but it was either nuns or guys.
Well, there weren't many, because of World War II there. When we were in grade school, there weren't a whole lot of male teachers.
No, there were not.
That's true. I had very few. In fact, I don't think I had any. Not until middle school.
We had one male teacher at Groveland Park Elementary, but he didn't really teach. His job was to hit kids.
They hit kids?
No, he was the enforcer. Yeah. So if your teacher might be a 75-year-old woman, right?
Not a lot of power in that swing.
No. And so that's right. They couldn't even thwack the ruler with your hand on the radiator and do any real damage. But that's where Mr. O'Connell came in.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
I always referred to him as the Fighting Irishman.
Well, it's a good name for him.
Which is pretty clever, for an 8-year-old.
Yeah, absolutely. See, you're giving me memories now of starting first grade, because I went to Emerson, downtown Minneapolis. It was a public school for kindergarten. And then first grade, I went to St. Joseph's. Well, I started at the Basilica. And then it was St. Anne's down in Le Sueur for a couple months. And then we moved back to Minneapolis. So then I went to St. Joseph's. So I went to 3 different schools for first grade. And I do remember looking back at all that stuff and not really understanding a whole lot of it. I didn't really understand. I guess I would see nuns and all that stuff, but I didn't understand what it was all about. It just... Yeah, I mean, it was a different thing going to Catholic school. I will tell you that.
Well, sure, because any environment in which you are taught, you just assume that this is what everyone does. It's just like growing up in a really weird family. You and I grew up in very disturbed families, and
that's true.
But we didn't really know they were so unusual.
No, I thought everybody's dad was nuts.
Yeah.
I did. Honestly, I was like, well, older men are just like that. They're off the deep end.
Yeah, I thought everyone's mom smoked 2 packs of Lucky Strikes a day and spent the rest of the day in her bed.
It's life.
Yeah.
It's a whole different story.
Man, I sure am lucky to be a guy.
Yeah, I guess. Is the world now changing for better or getting worse? I mean, it seems to be getting worse because people do nothing on national television but puke all over one another, which is I can't watch it, to tell you the truth. I've been looking for a news source and I can't find one because they all have very heavy opinions one way or the other.
Well, look at our popular culture, look at all not that there were a ton of them, but look at think back to all the really truly funny, creative, clever shows that we were able to watch on TV, and now it's just it's like America's Got Talent.
Oh God!
And then of course the sequel to that, no, it doesn't.
Nope.
No, it doesn't have talent.
I think they called that the Gong Show.
Yeah. Well, that was pretty clever in its own way, but there again, now that was a show based on contempt.
Why do we want that? Because obviously, if you didn't watch it, it wouldn't be on.
Well, with fewer and fewer people watching network TV, the shows are getting cheaper and cheaper.
Right. I suppose. There's some great television now. Landman, I think, is really good. I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but it's Billy Bob Thornton, and he's just phenomenal in it. Really good. Except, of course, it's written by Taylor Sheridan, who writes everything that's a hit
I know.
now.
That's amazing.
I mean, that guy's on fire. There's no question about that. Because he does Tulsa King. He does, I mean, he does all the big shows now, it seems like. So what's that all about?
You know, the other day I was flipping through HBO, and they're showing the old network shows. You remember Network,
Oh, sure. Yeah.
or was it called Newsroom? Newsroom, maybe it was called.
Yeah, I think you're probably
It was
right.
like a fantasy of what a real network
Mm-hmm.
newsroom might look like. And aside from the fact that everyone was stooping everyone else, it wasn't very real.
Right.
But it was fun as a fantasy.
No question. A story just popped up in front of me, and this is, I guess, exactly what I'm trying to find out about the world right now because it's so different than it used to be. Thanksgiving is a time of gratitude, giving back, and sharing time with family and friends. And this year, it seems like younger adults are embracing thankfulness. So young people are, would you agree with that, Andy, that young people are embracing thankfulness?
I mean, I would think so. Depends on what you mean by young people.
Well, I think your age and younger is what they're talking about. I think that's what they're talking about anyway.
And for the
Would you
most
accept
part,
that?
I think it's good until college teaches them to think otherwise.
Oh, yeah, there you go. A
Well,
new survey.
In other words, reality hits them in the face.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it depends on who you are, I suppose.
I imagine a new survey asked people, does your family have a Thanksgiving tradition of going around the table and announcing what you are thankful for? 30% of people said yes, including more than 40% of Gen Zers and millennials. So they do talk what they're thankful for. I
We've
don't
done
remember.
that a couple times,
Yeah, we've done it a couple
but
of times.
it's not something we do every year.
No. There's a big drop off after that, by the way. The Gen Zers and millennials, only 17% of boomers say they do that. It was also less popular in the Midwest than any other part of the country.
Huh.
They also asked, compared with previous Thanksgivings, how do you feel this year? Do you think people are grateful right now?
I think about 50% of people are grateful right now.
Okay. Mike?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with Andy. I think I've seen all these surveys where people say, you know, the country is a shithole. Of course, that
Right.
comes from the very top. That comes, and you know, the future is dire. America's going downhill every year, but we're pretty good. That's what people say.
Okay. Well, are they lying to themselves?
I think they've been taught that we're living in a shithole.
Yeah.
But that they look around themselves and they think, yeah, I guess we're really lucky because I don't think we're living in a shithole.
That's true. There's
I
a
don't
lot
either.
of basically everywhere you go, we're taught that America's bad. It's the worst place on earth. It's evil, rotten to the core. But then people step away and they look at their lives and they're like, this doesn't really seem that bad.
I've never understood why America's a horrible place, but everybody flocks here to live here.
It's because America's not a horrible place.
Well, because I guess you could say if you wanted to be charitable toward people, you could say because it's a lot worse. This could be a terrible place, but if so, man,
yeah.
because
If this is bad,
yeah.
then I cannot imagine 80% of the world.
And
Yeah.
so I mean, look, we have toilets for God's sake,
Toilets, electricity, running water.
running water.
What more could you need?
We can.
Why
we
are
can
you
take
guys
a
bringing
bath.
this up?
What?
You know what's going on today in my house, don't you?
No.
They shut the water off at 8 o'clock this morning and won't come back on again until 4 o'clock this afternoon. You guys knew it and you just had to shove it down my throat.
No running water.
But at
No
least
now
the
you know how
one's
it's
coming
like.
back.
By the way, an experience, luckily it worked out, thank God, but they shut the water off at 8 o'clock. And I, of course, went in and used the bathroom.
Oh yeah.
Thank God it was the last flush of the day. It all made it down the pipe, thank God.
See, now that's something to be grateful for.
Yeah,
Well, here's
absolutely.
a fun fact. If you need to, you can fill up a bowl with water and dump it all in the toilet as quickly as possible, the toilet will flush.
It will flush. Yes,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right.
It's
No
that's
question
all
about
about gravity.
Yit.
The toilet is the
The
most
siphon
fantastic
system.
and most basic,
It is.
simple thing that we have.
Yep, absolutely true. Okay, they also asked, compared with previous Thanksgivings, how do you feel this year? 37% of people said they're more thankful, 39% said about as thankful, and 13% said they're feeling less thankful this year.
Only 13. That's interesting.
Once again, people 45 and older, particularly in the Midwest, are feeling less thankful. I wonder why that would be in the Midwesterners over 45. Why would they think they're less grateful?
Midwesterners over 45.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because they're getting older.
It could be. I mean, yeah.
But 45 is not old.
No, but I mean, I'm in my 30s and I'm already getting all sorts of health problems. I can't imagine what my
Yeah.
40s is going to be like. Hopefully better, but
It's a good
we'll
life.
see.
If you're someone who is embracing gratitude this holiday season, there are many things to be thankful for, and these are the most popular things. If you have a guess, what are the most popular things people are thankful for?
Family, friends,
Family, friends, be good start.
flushing toilets.
Toilets that actually work, be good. Mike, you got any?
I'm totally with Andy on this one.
Okay. 47% of people say they're most thankful for family and friends. 19% are most thankful for their health. Andy just talked about that. 8% said their faith. 5% said America. 4% said their pets, and 3% say their job or personal finances. Well, so those are all good things to be grateful for. I would think, anyway, right?
And no one mentioned the sin of Onan.
No, they did not.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
Yeah,
I'm
I've
an
seen it.
I'm an outlier again.
Well, technically,
Women-
as long as it doesn't fall on the ground, you're good.
Yeah. Women were more likely to put an emphasis on others, family, and friends, while men were more likely to be thankful for their own health in America. When broken down by age, younger adults said they were most thankful for family and friends, which that is great news that younger adults feel that way.
Yeah, because that's really what it's about.
Yep, absolutely. Their job, they're grateful for that, their health. Older adults were thankful for their faith, America, and their pets. Those are all people that think they're going to die soon. Is that what we're talking about here?
I was thinking of having a yard sale,
Mm-hmm.
but then I thought, how much money could I actually get for my cat?
Probably not a ton.
I would say no, not
There's
much.
quite a bit of supply of cats out there.
Yeah, that they're.
A lot of
I would
demand,
agree.
but
However, the demand has surged
it has.
during the pandemic,
hmm
and I mean, these cats fly off the rack at say the Humane Society.
Yeah, they sure
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and people are taking, I mean, what? It's a 14-year-old cat with 2 legs. I'll have it.
Yep.
All right, now I have not read this yet, and I'm going to ask you guys if I should read this. Okay, you ready? The top 5 ideas for things to be thankful for if you can't come up with anything on your own. Should I click on that or not?
Because I smell comedy.
Yeah, oh, yeah, it's going to be comedy. I can guarantee you
it
that.
is.
Such as it is. Yeah, I smell a failed attempt at comedy.
A failed attempt at comedy.
Those
Okay.
are always fun to listen to, just to see how bad they are. Usually, there's like one that's not bad.
Okay, the top 5 ideas for things to be thankful for if you can't come up with anything on your own. Related comedy is what it's listed at. And here we go. The top 5 things, and there are actually about 9 of them. But other than that,
Huh. Maybe that's part of the joke.
you should be grateful if your employer does not test for drug use.
Well,
No
mine
drug
doesn't.
testing? Yeah,
Well,
yours doesn't. That's
We
right.
spent so much time in radio where you were fired if you weren't using drugs.
Yeah,
That's pretty much true.
you're not cool if you
No.
don't do this coke.
Come on, man.
Big baby. You know you're better than, better than to pay people for sex using Venmo.
And
Oh,
because
Matt
they can
Gates.
charge it back.
Yeah, Matt Gates. There you
Matt
go.
Gates joke.
Oh, I see.
Did he use Venmo for what? And then he found
God.
out she was like
Tens of
17 or
thousands of
something?
dollars, yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah.
I still have never understood that. What is the joy of having sex if you have to pay for it?
Maybe you want to pay for it.
But why? So you don't have to deal with the other stuff?
Shopping addiction.
I guess. Yeah, maybe.
Mix your shopping addiction and your sex addiction. There you go. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Here's another reason to be grateful at the holiday season. Your rich uncle with no kids of his own is fading fast.
Well,
So
that's
you're going
rather.
Hmm.
to inherit his money?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Pringles cans make it easy to drink wine at your kids' soccer games. So it
Pringles.
was like a beer bottle would fit in what would fit in a Pringles can?
I think if people see you putting a Pringles can up to your lips repeatedly, they're going to think
Hmm.
maybe he's not just eating Pringles.
You were wearing a COVID mask that time you accidentally farted in the middle of TJ Maxx. Boy, somebody's working really hard this morning, man. That's
Well,
some hard work.
I think desperation is when you have to get TJ Maxx into the
TJ,
joke.
yeah, it's an
Yes,
interesting,
yes.
interesting name drop.
Only 3 more to go. Your dog doesn't judge what you do to yourself while on the computer. Yeah, I don't want to hear about that. Number 2 is you got one of those Harris Walls decals that peels right off of your car.
Yeah. Although in Minnesota they don't do that; they just leave them on forever, don't they?
They do leave them on forever, absolutely.
No, it's just like people who want to keep their Christmas ornaments around for, until June.
People still do that.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that just laziness more than anything
I
else?
think so.
probably.
When's the last time you saw a Wellstone bumper sticker?
That's true.
Yesterday, I'd say.
Really?
Oh, I see
Really?
them all the time.
Wow.
Oh, I
still?
don't.
Oh yeah.
Are they still
I
making
know.
them, or did these people just have the same car for 40 years?
I a little of both, I suppose. I guess.
is
I
all
guess.
true.
I guess you could go online and buy a Wellstone.
I'm sure
bumper
you
sticker.
could. I used to see them
Yeah.
all the time, like ages past when he
Yeah.
died. But these days, I mean, I think the cars are getting junked.
The genuine one, might cost you a little more on eBay.
You gotta
Yeah.
get it carbon dated, so you know.
I would not have a Wellstone bumper sticker because it would take away from really what is the ultimate ornament on my car, which is the duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I'd cover up the duct tape. You can't be doing that.
That's what really makes my car different.
How about some Wellstone branded duct tape?
And that would be perfect.
There you go. Get him on the phone. Get his people on the phone.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to get him on the phone.
Yeah.
That's not,
Well, if you
that's not
can,
happening.
it'd be very impressive.
And I still to this day never understood. The guy just hated me. And I never even met him.
What's his name? Paul?
Paul Wellstone, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Wellstone. When was that?
I don't know. I guess I just didn't.
2002. So 22 years ago.
Yeah, well,
He died 22 years ago already?
Mm-hmm.
because he was on the Stretch and Z show,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
I think would have been 1999,
Yeah.
and he was terrific.
Yeah, he just for some reason didn't like me. I don't know. There are a lot of Minnesotans like that. They either love me or they hate my guts. There's nobody down the middle.
And it's of course, I don't know if this brings you any solace, but it's a pretty good bet that he never ever heard our show.
Yeah, that's probably true. Okay, the final thing, the top 5 ideas for things to be grateful for, to be thankful for, if you can't come up with anything on your own. The number 1 is pretty lame. Aaron Rodgers isn't your fantasy football quarterback. That's a lame ending to a good idea.
He
if you
ain't my
ask me.
fantasy anything.
I'll just
Yeah.
assume. I'll just assume there's a joke there.
Well, is he as big a prick as everybody says he is?
I don't even know. I know the name. Couldn't tell you anything.
It's
more than
pretty
that.
hard to find anything really complimentary about him.
Right. That's a very, very good way of putting it. You do not find positive stories about him.
And
Very
it is amusing to watch him play these days, because he'll throw a pass and the receiver will drop it, or maybe the receiver's going one way, the ball's going another way, and then they'll zero in the big one shot on Aaron Rodgers, and it's just utter contempt.
Oh yeah, it's true. Now, Gelfan, we only got like 2 minutes left here, but there will be no Gelfan show next week because it's Thanksgiving.
Yep. Thanksgiving.
Well, I'll be around 5th and Nicollet, just shooting one-liners if anyone cares.
5th and Nicollet.
Yeah, well, in the middle of the day, not at night.
Is
No.
the what's it? Ocean Air still on that corner, isn't it?
Oh, is it really?
5th and Nicollet. That's
a
where
great
Ocean Air
place,
is,
isn't
isn't it? Oh, I love Ocean Air.
Yeah.
No question. That's funny because Andy, I don't know if you remember this or not, but your mom and I sat down and she said, you should probably stop drinking. I went, okay, that's fine. And then the next night after I gave up drinking, actually, that's not true because Catherine and I went to a restaurant and I ordered a non-alcohol beer,
Mhm.
and they brought me a beer. It was in a glass. And after two of them, I realized these were not non-alcoholic. So,
Uh,
so in the last 16 years or whatever it's been, I've had two beers. They were on the same night, and I didn't know I was having two beers. But, other than that, but I
On,
do,
I
was
was
that
going to say on Christmas Eve, I'll be with my people.
your people? Yes,
You know where we
absolutely.
gather.
Chinese restaurant.
That is correct.
Mhm.
You got it, Chinese. Oh, we were talking about Howard Wong's yesterday and Billy Martin, how he used to go
Oh,
to
yeah,
Howard Wong's and get in fist fights all the
sure.
time.
Everywhere he went.
Everywhere he went and got fist fights. That's true. But God, what the hell was I just talking about? I got
Howard.
before Howard Wong's was a great place though. Man, it was on what was that the 494 was what was it back then? It wasn't 494 back then. What was it?
Yeah, you're right.
God, what was
Let's
it called?
see. Interstate 494. It's got its own Wikipedia
It
article.
would be, yeah.
What street was that?
Well, it was completed in, wow. Construction began in the late 50s and it was completed in 1985.
There you go.
It's a
So,
long project.
Which is how long it takes now to get from 494 anywhere
you
else.
got that right.
Get on
It's a little busy.
494 at France Avenue and try to get to the airport in 15 years.
Oh. All right. Any closing words, boys?
Guess I'll have some news tomorrow, I suppose.
Or are you going to another checkup?
I'm getting my cancer staged. Huzzah.
So what is it? What are they looking at? I mean, they
I'm
think
looking to see if it got anywhere.
well, why wouldn't they have done that sooner?
You can't really.
Or you can't really?
Not with this one.
Hmm.
You got
Do
to
you
do the
anticipate any
iodine
problems?
thing, and then the iodine gets in there, and then they have a special scanner that looks for the
Oh.
iodine.
So you'd be
I
doing
see.
that every 6 months?
No. If I had to do that every 6 months, I think I would let myself succumb because this has been a rough week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, after this one, they'll know where it all went. So, if it went anywhere, they can target it, get it out. Then after that, it's just like standard, they'll do
Yeah.
probably a CT scan, I think, every 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, so even if they find some, it's not that severe?
No, he said that based on the type, no matter where it got, odds are, even if it got into my lungs and everything, this RAI is going to kill it and should be good to go.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's nice to hear that my son may not be croaking.
Yeah,
that's good.
No, I think the odds of that are extremely low.
When they found a little, my urologist was just doing a routine kidney stone thing, and he found that I had a trace at least of bladder cancer.
Oh, really?
So that was like probably about 2011 or something. So the deal was then I had to have like every 6 months I had to have this intrusive examination
Yep.
and imaging and so I was lying on the gurney there, and my great urologist who was had sort of mostly an Australian accent, a little bit of British in there, Dr. Holbert, and he said, "This won't be much. This will be a little discomfort, just for a minute or two. And
Just a little
that's all,
discomfort.
just a little discomfort." And I said, "Well, if that's the case, why are 3 nurses holding me down?"
That's a very good point. All right, boys. We will. Well, Gail fam, we will not talk to you next
No.
week, but we'll talk to you 2 weeks from today,
Well,
Pally.
I'm going to call you. Just stay with the connection.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Got to
We'll
keep
just do
the tradition alive.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't like these missing these Thursdays.
I understand.
But we'll be not doing a show on Thursday or Friday next week.
No, you're not on tomorrow.
I'm not on tomorrow, but I will be back Monday.
Okay, that sounds good.
I mean, it's a scan, Once
Yep.
the scan's over, the scan's over.
Well, enjoy your families. That's the big thing.
Indeed.
Yeah, we just
Enjoy
put
your
our Christmas tree up yesterday, so we're
It
all
looks
ready
good,
for
too.
the season. Well, we have a baby, so it's like that's the best thing in the world to a baby, a Christmas tree.
And,
Yeah.
And while it's really sad you lost your cat, at least your cat won't be knocking the tree down.
No, we have a second cat. So
yeah, maybe
first thing she did is go over to that tree and start pawing around in it.
Yeah,
As soon as she knew it was up, she was like, "Hell yeah,
yeah. We had a cat.
this thing again."
We had a cat who climbed up and tore the tree down every year.
We never had a cat do that. Luckily,
All right, boys. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
right.
Bye.
See you.
Got a picture in my noggin reminds me of this was before. Every time I hear the singing reminds me how you talking